In our sessions, we've recently discussed how a plant grows. In particular, we've discussed primary and secondary growth, the formation of different stems and shoots and leaves and roots, and I've mentioned briefly what we mean when we talk about plant hormones, but we haven't discussed in detail what a plant hormone is. In actuality, a plant hormone is no different than your hormones. They're chemical in nature and they cause particular responses within plant cells. Specifically, we look at hormones producing higher rates of cell division in particular areas of the plant in response to some need of the plant. So, say in response to increased sunshine, increased water availability, or just seasonally, so changes in hormones as a response to changes in temperature and light availability. People started studying hormones because they observed odd behaviors in plants. We tease about plants not being able to run away from the organisms that eat them, but we'll look later on at some very interesting responses to plants as they are chewed on. But these kinds of behaviors are what made people start to think that there were chemicals controlling some of these responses and trying to understand better what those chemicals actually were. Phototropism, or a plant's response to light, is actually what drove a lot of this research. Just the very essence that a plant can bend towards the light. Think about your house plants at home, or plants even outside. They tend to lean towards the light, and in any time-lapse images you can see this occur on a daily basis. In the morning, if they're near a sunny window, they will start to move towards the light of that window to absorb as much light as possible for photosynthesis. So scientists have spent a lot of time trying to understand how these different plant hormones work, but what I want to focus on today is how those hormones actually affect plant growth in particular. So they're just simply chemical signals. Darwin, who we often just associate with evolution, spent many years studying plants, and in particular spent a lot of time studying how plants move in response to their environment. With his son, he conducted lots of experiments actually looking at plant roots and shoots and how they were able to grow towards the light. They set up a number of different experiments, if you're interested in looking them up, putting blocks in place, and literally they would cut the plants and put these blocks of material in place and put the plants back together, kind of mini plant surgery, to see whether or not they could affect the way the hormones moved. There are 5 different types of hormones that we look at in plants specifically: auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, ABA or abscisic acid, and ethylene. So ethylene may be one you've already heard of. We look at that primarily associated with ripening of fruits, but we'll look at it also as we look at aging of leaves and flowers in plants. It essentially makes things go into, in many cases, a kind of rotting stage or very mature aging stage. The others will act as what we call agonistic hormones or antagonistic hormones. We look at the auxins and cytokinins kind of working together, and then we'll look at gibberellin and ABA as kind of working together, and that'll be in more detail in the next video.